Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Desert Launch event brought to you by the Professional Long Drivers Association and Unlock Golf. Unlock the speed in your swing. My name is Ryan Riesbeck. I'm here again with Landon Gentry and Bobby Peterson. We've got a great matchup here in the semifinals. Our first match is Brandon Flynn versus Scotty Pierman, two fairly newcomers to the PLDA ranks. Bobby, what's the analysis here as far as a preview of these two competitors?
Should be a good matchup here, Ryan. Both guys have been flighting the ball really well this week, apexing around 190, and Scotty's got the ball speed advantage. I think Brandon Flynn's probably got the ball striking advantage, so should be a really good match.
Interesting you bring up ball striking. What's the difference? What do you mean by that?
I think Brandon has more of a traditional golf swing. He's added a lot of speed to be able to compete in the long drive like we talked about when he was up in the quarterfinals. But he actually hits the ball real square in the face and seems to get a straighter ball flight, where Scotty, is a little more handsy, creates a lot more ball speed, but actually gets his spin axis a little bit negative and tends to hook the ball.
So that hitting the center of the club face is a big deal as far as getting the most output of your swing.
Yeah, I was actually reminded of back in the early 90s, I was trying to play golf a little bit, and I actually met with Bobby Clampett up in Cary, North Carolina, and we were talking about speed and ball striking and stuff like that. And he was like, man, it doesn't matter how fast you swing. If you can't hit the ball in the center of the club face, you can't control it. So ball flight skills were kind of, ingrained into my beginning of golf, and it's carried over to long drive.
Let's see what he does on his second shot. This one looks to be in play, pretty straight down that right line. Landon, what are you seeing?
Yeah, that's a better ball flight from there, from Brandon right there. He the numbers on that were 213, and he put it out there at 365. So that's a good start. Brandon, he's been in this position before. He finished runner up to Kyle Berkshire last year in one of the tour events at the OSPS. So he's been in this position. So let's just see what he does on this next ball.
Yeah, I think Brandon's been working pretty hard in the off season. He was a little nervous at our national championship in Memphis, and that shows a little bit. But time on the tee will get rid of that. He's a really good competitor. Got a great head on his shoulders, and seems to know the golf swing really well. So I look for him to just continue to get better in the sport.
And he's got that tournament golf background, I think, which makes a difference. Being under pressure, having to hit multiple shots to keep the ball in play, hit the fairways, hit the greens. So even though there's some pressure there, I think he's handling things really well. Let's see what Scotty's got here. We talked about this the other day. Scotty's a little bit more narrow in his setup, high hands, and he flights the ball well too. This one looks like to be just out of bounds right.
Yeah, I was actually with Scotty on the range a little bit earlier in the day, and he was actually fighting his hook. And he actually is going up there kind of feeling like he's holding it off or hitting a little fade to kind of, keep that ball from going so hard left. He had a good match against Will and actually put up that 381 ball on his fourth shot against Will. So he definitely has some power, and he can reach this 365 that Brandon has on him. But he's got to hit a good ball in the grid. See, that's kind of low. With this soft grid, it's not going to run out on him. So got to get it up.
I was going to allude to that 381 that Bobby just mentioned. So, I mean, you can see it's 350 from Scotty, not something that he's going to, look for. So like Bobby said, it was a really low ball flight. So I think Scotty's, mindset right here is that, he knows he's got the power to get it out there past 65. He's just got to slow it down a little bit and connect and hit a good shot right here. All goes back to the ball striking, what we were talking about earlier, hitting the center of the face. And you can see right there, that ball's going to be out right. OB right. So
yeah, but slowing down sometimes that's even harder. I know for me at least, I'm better to make some equipment changes and try and swing hard rather than try and slow things down a little bit. Slowing down for me really gets my timing off, my tempo, and my swing off. So we'll see what he does. It's for me though. I can't slow down. It's better for me to swing harder sometimes. That's a complete long driver mentality, right?
That's why you're the big deal.
That's why I'm sitting here talking about Brandon and Scotty instead of being on the tee box with them.
I kind of agree. When you slow down, you're more concentrated on the speed you're generating versus actually committing to the golf shot. I mean, how many times in practice do you slow down and just try to hit the grid? I mean, most guys that I work with are actually out on the range just trying to hit it as hard as they can and seeing how well they can control that shot. So going out there and changing your nature is not very good.
Yeah.
So
Scott and Brandon's just missing right here. The weather here, downwind left to right. It looks to
yeah.
me like a lot of these guys would be in a better position if they aimed in that back left corner. I don't know if they're all aiming right down the middle and the ball's just kind of getting pushed out to the right, but we're seeing a lot of misses down that right line.
Well, I think right here with Brandon, he's obviously got adrenaline pumping. He's got a good ball out there, and needs to hit probably in his mind a better ball, and just got a little quick with his lower body on the first few shots and blocked it, and then obviously got a little arms and hands speeding up right there to generate some more speed. But I mean, he's got a big ball here, 365. I mean, that we've seen over and over that's a good quality shot, and it puts the pressure back on Scotty. He's got to come back, and he can't let up on this. I mean, that 381 is over, right? So he's got to go out there and reach that 365 and put it on out there past Brandon to be able to advance.
Oh yeah, it's a whole new ball game right now. I mean, he's got three shots instead of 6. He's already wasted the first 3, didn't catch the 365, so he's got to put it out there right now. And Scotty's never been. I think this is his best finish in a tour event, I believe. So it's first time here. Maybe has a little bit of nerves, maybe a little bit of adrenaline.
Yep.
And
yeah. I mean, he just put up 217 on that ball, and you kind of see he got his spin axis a little left. He had a little left path with closed face and left spin axis. All of those things mean left ball. So you better be aiming out right if you're going to hit that. And I know talking to Scotty going into this, he was going to try to get lined up down the right side, but I think those first few balls that he hit that blocked out of bounds right probably affected him on this. So
let's see if that ball hangs on.
Yeah, he's holding it onto it again. Got a right axis, so he's fighting it right axis, left axis. So yeah.
So Ryan, tell me, when you're on the tee box and you're doing this, you're going right and left. Are you focusing on one specific thing, or are you just trying to just commit to the shot that you started with and try to hit that?
Well, I try to figure out, what's making me go, have that two-way miss. If I'm going right and left, then usually something's wrong. It's either alignment or my legs are tired and I'm using too much of my upper body. He's left again on this one. So down the line left, not the performance that Scotty wanted. I know that Scotty's got a lot of heart. He gives it all he's got. And he's very, he's a good guy, very positive as a competitor. You see him shaking Brandon Flynn's hand there. I think that he would like to have those 6 balls back, maybe give it another shot, but that's not how long drive works. So Brandon Flynn is moving on. He'll be.
I think if anybody takes anything away from this is try to figure out a one-way miss. Yeah, because you kind of tell there with Scotty he was missing right and left, and that's always trouble. Get it a one-way miss, and then hopefully you can try to work it into the grid.
All right, our final match here in the Open Division semifinals is Josh Koch and Kyle Berkshire. Josh was our inaugural winner of the first PLDA event back in July of last year, and he beat Kyle Berkshire in the finals. Now, Kyle has since won the national championship, is a top-ranked player in the sport right now. Let's see who's going to – these are 2 powerhouses. These guys both are 220-plus swing speed or ball speed guys, 150-plus swing speed. Should be a great match. Bobby, talk to us about the advantage of starting off by putting balls in play.
Well, obviously, this is 2 of the fastest guys in the sport. So, first ball in play obviously puts a lot of pressure back on the other guy. So, with Josh being able to start the match off, his first thought should probably be get a ball in play and, then go for it. Just hit bombs.
Add some pressure. I like that. Normally I try to hit second whenever I have the choice. I don't know who had the choice in this situation here, but Landon, talk to us about being in that hammer position versus, starting the match and putting a ball up first.
Yeah, I mean, from a hitter's perspective, I will always choose the hammer just because I want to know what the number is. I know some guys kind of use the going first as a strategic move, try to put a big number out there and let somebody catch them. Just like Bobby said, you got to, putting one out there, put a little pressure on them. But me personally, I just like to, I like to have that last spot, that last ball.
That ball looks like it's running out of bounds left. So now we've got Kyle coming up for his first 3 shots in this match.
So Kyle, he's been about 380 all day long. If I remember correctly, I don't think he's hit a ball under 377. So, Kyle, obviously everybody knows he's got the horsepower. He definitely knows he can catch 363. So Kyle's going to do what Kyle does best. He's going to go up. He's going to swing hard, and he's going to try to hit that home run ball and just try to put the nail in the coffin early. He knows he's got the hammer, and he's just going to try to put that one big ball out there.
For a second there, I thought he had a haircut, but it looks like he's got his hair tucked in his shirt.
Yeah, we were practicing a lot and having to test stuff with the wind blowing. It was actually getting in his eyes, and he was almost blinded by his hair. So I was asking him one day, I said, Kyle, can you see the ball? And he said, no. I said, well, how you hit it? And he said,
he was using the force.
Used the force. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
That ball's outright. It's 2 in a row outright down that right line. And he's not missing by much. Those are landing just inside or just outside and rolling out. So
I tell you what, the tech truck could just leave that shot tracer right on that white tin over there because it looks like he's just pounding it right at him.
Well, those last 2 balls also were 224. So I mean that's typical Kyle speed, like we talked about hitting that home run ball. So
yeah,
there's another one. That one looks like he probably hit that about a groove too low on the face. That's going to squirt out right as well. So
distance was there. Those balls are landing around 380, 390, and just not in play. And unfortunately, that's rule number 1 in long drive is put the ball in play.
Who taught you that rule, Ryan?
You did, Bobby.
You're welcome.
It didn't seem to work for me on this event, though, because I missed out of bounds and got eliminated. So
that's why he's back here in the booth with us calling shots. He's going to squirt that. Let's see if that stays in. It's a big old kind of banana slice there.
Definitely face open on that one.
Yep.
When he shuts the face, you get a shot like that down the line, left side. That's going to be out of bounds. So there's one more ball for Josh to see if he can add to his yardage of 363 in this match.
Yeah. I tell you, I kind of wonder, was Josh studying the history of this career? Because I know he hasn't been in the long drive that long, but Landon, when the wind blows out here left to right, that left path, open face kind of put some big balls in the grid usually.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I wonder is that kind of what maybe Josh had studied some history and brought that kind of mentality into this. So
he might have. It looks like he was trying to hit that left side of the grid, in those last 3 balls, unfortunately just leaving the face a little too far open. He knew. I think Josh knows that 365 might not cut it, so he needed to have something bigger than that against Kyle. So fortunately, Kyle's got the hammer, and we'll see if he can catch 365. We obviously know he's got the horsepower to do it, so it's just a matter of hitting the grid.
Yeah, the reaction I'm seeing too from Josh is I think he is feeling like he's hitting the ball well, but this grid's just not giving him any love when it comes to a rollout.
Yeah, there's a typical overcorrection. You hit 3 balls dead straight, OB right, and you come up and hook it left, and he's really releasing his hands here. Yep, hooked it again. So you got his spin axis up there about 20 degrees left. That's not going to cut it.
His ball speed here is like 224. I mean, he's definitely not holding back. He's going after it.
Yeah, that last ball was at 224.8 ball speed, so he's definitely not holding back on these.
Yeah, and you can see that last ball that's going to be out left. So it looks like Kyle just had a little bit of overcorrection with those. His first 3 balls were out right, and his last 3 balls were out left. So he definitely was trying to make the correction there, just a little bit too much. And Josh Koch is going to take that win.
All right, that brings us to the finals match for the ladies division. We've got Kate Griffiths and Kanani Lodge, both competing very well today. Seem to be dominating the ladies division early in the PLDA. This is the first ladies division event we've had in the PLDA. Let's see how Kate gets us started.
She's definitely got the horsepower to compete. That first ball there was 167 miles an hour. So, she's a newcomer. This is her first event. And I had a chance to talk to her earlier, and she's super excited. So to be here, she's probably got a little nerves, but we'll see what she can do with these first couple balls here.
Yeah, I tell you, the first thing I noticed right there, she's teeing up about a yard behind the line. So that's a little bit of a rookie mistake. We all know that 6 inches in long drive is a tie. So to give up a yard right off the tee box is a little bit of a mistake here. But she gets that ball in the grid and got a good number right there, 301. So like we always say, first ball in the grid counts.
Yeah, Kate is from Canada, and she's living in Arizona right now. So she's able to come up and make the trip. I know she was really excited to compete, and she's had a great showing so far, winding up here in the finals with Kanani, putting a ball in at 301. I think she's off to a great start.
Yeah, what's cool about the ladies is that there's a great camaraderie between all of them. You can always see them cheering one another on. They all want to win. They all want to win. They all want to beat each other. But at the end of the day, they're there to support each other, which is pretty cool to see.
Talk to us, Bobby, about Kanani's setup here. First ball's outright. It looks like down the line.
Yeah, Kanani has a really strong base. Got a lot of talent. Obviously, she tees it up right there on the line. You see she's gaining that yard that Katie was giving up to start with. Good solid swing. Looks like she's kind of guiding it, holding on to it a little bit, leaving the face open, which is a little indication she might be nervous. You see she's not very happy with that last swing. She's got a good golf background, good solid swing, so a little more experience on the tee. She's gonna be a really tough competitor. Hopefully she can make a little correction here and square it up and put a ball in the grid.
And that's what she's done. Yeah, she's closed it. I was just going to say, I'd like to see what happens when she closes the face on that. And here we're going to get a call back on the yardage, 323. So yeah. Kate's got her work cut out for her.
Yeah, that's going to be, I think that's going to be a tough ball to beat for Kate. She, as I alluded to earlier, it's her first tournament, first finals. And that's a big number right now to catch. The wind's kind of died down a little bit, not a lot of rolls. So every yard counts. She's got to launch it a little bit higher. That 301 she hit earlier had a little bit low of an apex, but she's, in talking to her earlier, she's a competitor. She knows what it's like to be in this type of situation, and she's going to let it all hang out, I think.
Yeah, I know as far as one of the competitors that we spoke to before the tournament started, really excited about the ladies division and being able to come out and compete in this sport that is fairly new to her and new to a lot of ladies. And I'm a believer that there's a lot of ladies out there who could compete in this division. They're just sometimes they're a little afraid to put themselves out there and in front of people and see what they can do. But as a competitor, the excitement and adrenaline that you get from being in the match, it's a lot of fun. And here we have another ball out of bounds by Kate, just leaving the face open, wanting to see her just close that face a little bit, keep that ball in play. Like you talked about earlier, Landon, with the higher apex, I think she could get some yardage there and possibly catch Kanani.
Yeah, I think she can. She's definitely got a great golf swing. She's just got to maybe add a little more spine tilt to it and kind of close that face. And she definitely did that there, but the apex still is a little low. So we'll have to see what that number comes back at.
Kate was 167 right there on that ball, and didn't get to roll out, but flew at 297. And Kanani, when she put up the 323 ball, her ball speed was like 178. So congratulations, Kanani, there winning the championship there at the Desert Launch for the ladies division.
And we'll head into the Open Division finals match here between Brandon Flynn and Josh Koch.
All right, so this should be a really good matchup. Brandon Flynn looking for his first victory in the PLDA. Been striking the ball good all day. Perfect ball flight, 190 apex. Josh has been hitting a little low at 127, 130 apex. So it's going to boil down to efficiency over or versus ball speed right here. What do you think, Landon?
No, I agree. Brandon's been kind of the quiet guy. He was the 8th seed coming into it. So to make the final match here, it's definitely just is a testament to his ball striking ability. So that first ball right there is definitely a good shot right down the middle.
The yardage on that one, 368. That's a great start for Brandon on his first ball. Get the ball in play. 368's that number that it's like we talked about earlier. It's not the longest ball, but it's definitely one to add pressure. You're going to have to hit a good ball to surpass that for sure.
Yeah, and Brandon, he's been hitting it well all day, so that's kind of where he's been hanging out at, is a 368, 370 mark. But he's definitely got a little more in the tank. We'll just have to see if he can unleash it here on these in this final match against Josh, because he knows Josh can put up a big number. He knows what Josh is capable of. So we'll see what he does on this last ball here in the first 3.
I tell you, I like Brandon's setup, man. He's consistent with it every time, and just a pretty powerful swing. Just a little bit fast, left the face open on that, but he's a real solid player.
Looked like he swung down a little bit on that ball. Didn't quite get the launch he was looking for, so his attack angle probably lower than it has been.
Well, he's been up there around 7 degrees, so he was 5 degrees. So that was a good catch, Ryan. He was down 2 degrees on that, more than what he'd been doing.
So Josh's first ball's coming up here, and Josh has been here before. Like we alluded to, he'd won last July in the first event we put on at OSPS. So he's been here before. He knows what it takes to win. So he's going to let it all hang out. That apex looks a little bit low, but it's going to be right down the middle of the grid. We'll see what that number comes back at. That ball was 216.
Yeah, he definitely took a little something off of that. So 216, he's been at around 220.
Looks like he's staying with his game plan of starting the ball down the left side, letting it cut back, trying to ride that wind.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked that he's not got his apex up a little higher. He's seen that the balls are not rolling out. So there you go. Got that one up in the air. I'm not sure if he caught it flush in the face or not. So let's see what the callback on this is, because he got that last one. Oh, there you go. Back-to-back 363s. Unfortunately, we don't total them up.
Yeah, that ball was a little bit higher. Just like Bobby said, don't know if he really flushed that one. That ball speed was 212 there. So he
maybe caught it on the heel or something a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, 2 balls in play. His first 2 balls pretty good, in my opinion.
Oh, 4 at the bathroom.
And he closed the face on it, right? So not what he wanted, I'm sure, but I think that's a good start for Josh, considering 2 of the 3 balls in play. That should give him some confidence going into the last 3 balls.
Yeah, it's definitely going to settle some nerves down. So Brandon Flynn, again, this is his second time he's been in a final match. It's his final 3 balls. He's got a little 5-yard cushion here, so he's got to step on it. I think that's what he's going to do.
Going first, he's put himself in position where he's going to leave it up to the other player to either beat him, or he's going to beat himself. And this ball's in play. It's down the line, so it's going to be close, but it looks like it's just out of bounds. But with that being said, he's putting the competition or the match in his own hands here, and then see if he can apply pressure to Josh.
I think that Brandon may have learned a little something in his last match because he had the same position of trying to build on a lead and maybe overswung a little bit.
And he likes that.
That's solid right there. Look at that.
Yeah.
That thing apex at about 180 feet. And there you go, 373. So he's taking that number up. So he's got one more swing at it. And if he can match that up and add a little more horsepower to it, he might be able to get out over 380.
He seems to walk after the balls he hits really well. I mean, when you watch him and he strikes that ball well, he'll take 3 or 4 steps forward. It almost seems like that's an indicator that we know he got a good one. So
yeah, I remember Tim Burke doing that at Las Vegas one year. Almost walked off the platform.
Yeah, he
walked off of that one.
Yeah, he
There
did.
you go. Oh, yeah.
377.
Oh,
Woo! There's a big ball.
That's stepping on the gas pedal there.
so just give you guys the numbers there. It's about 144 miles an hour club head speed, 213 mile an hour ball speed, and 377. So he definitely took it up a notch for sure. So now all the pressure is back on Josh Koch. Last 3 balls, can't leave anything in the tank here.
Yeah, he stretched that lead. I mean, that 12, 15 yard, 14-yard difference there, if I do my math right, that was bad. The 14-yard difference, that seems a lot tougher than the 4 or 5 yard advantage that Brandon had that first 3 ball set. So Josh got to step on it here.
I know math is tough when you run out of fingers, Ryan. So hang in there, man. We'll try to help you out. Josh had a 217 ball speed on that one, got a little bit outside left. So he's not holding back. He's swinging for it, man. So I like to see these guys go for it. He's got a lot of motion in his swing. Looks like he's staying in a good rhythm
good
here.
ball too,
Good ball
right
there.
down the middle.
Yep, 218.6. There's a little more speed.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Oh, closing the gap.
He's making it making it interesting for sure.
Yeah, that's his longest drive in the finals, I believe. 372.
Yeah, here we go. Last ball.
Last ball, best ball, right?
Yeah. This is what long drive is all about right here. This is just exciting.
He ain't lying.
Will he do it or will he not do it? It's all down to it.
Look, got a rock. Oh, he got that
it's
little.
In play. It's in play. It's got a chance, right?
217 ball speed.
Never know. Could get rollout.
Hot side of the grid. What's he got?
Oh, 364.
Oh, wow.
Just short. So Brandon Flynn, he's the Desert Launch Open Division champion. These guys, a lot of respect for each other, going to give each other a good handshake and congratulatory. I totally butchered that.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Here are your winners in the Open Division. We have Brandon Flynn. Ladies Division, Kanani Lodge. Be sure to check out our next event in Memphis, Tennessee on April 16th, 17th, and 18th. Let's go down to Ryan for the post-tournament interviews.
Ryan Riesbeck and Bobby Peterson here with the PLDA. We're with Brandon Flynn with his first victory. Brandon, you just started doing long drive, last year?
Yeah, my first event was last March, doing one of the World Long Drive Military Division competitions, and I've been hooked ever since. So,
tell me about long drive. What do you love about it?
I just love the atmosphere, being able to just rip drives. That's all I've been good at. I used to be a competitive golfer, and I never got second chances, so I get at least 6 chances here. So I just love being able to rip it, and just the atmosphere, the camaraderie, everything about it is just fantastic.
Do you like this more than you like competitive golf?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
What advice do you have for others that may be thinking about starting long drive, at least competing in it, trying it out? What would you say to them?
I'd say give it a go. We got the local qualifiers on the About Golf simulators, so if you want to give those a try, go on out, give it a try. Speaking from somebody with experience, I had no idea what I was getting into, and it's an absolute blast, so give it a go. Let's talk about that last winning shot that you had. Tell me, what were you thinking before you hit it, and then once you hit it? I mean, I was out in the grid calling the balls out there. I could hear the crowd. I could hear you. Tell me what it felt like. Well, it's coming down to the 6th ball. You got to put whatever you have left in the tank in it, and I just absolutely caught it perfect. It was a perfect flight. High trajectory, which is perfect for this grid right now. And I mean, I smoked it, and I knew I smoked it. So getting back 377 was a real good feeling.
Yeah, I would say you're not going to forget this feeling for quite a while. So it's going to drive you to practice even harder. I follow you on Instagram, so I see all that you're doing on Instagram. What are you going to do now to keep it going?
Oh, I mean, we got to keep working. I mean, these guys are, I got it done today, but I still got to get faster, and I know there's room for improvement. So it's always just about improving myself, and I'm looking forward to the next event.
Well, I thought it was fantastic. Bobby, do you have anything you want to mention?
Yeah, I just want to comment. I was on the tee box looking at the numbers, and I knew you had the right ball flight and the heights coming into it. What were you feeling when the wind was kind of changing with us and against us all day? Were you trying to adjust to it, or what were you doing?
Yeah, sure. I was definitely trying to adjust, whenever it started going from left to right. I mean, I typically hit a draw, so that was going to be hurting against the wind. So I was trying to play it down the left side and just let the wind take it back in. I mean, I would say I got lucky getting in on the 8th spot. I was losing gas towards the end, but yeah, I mean, you got to play the conditions, and I did my best today with that. So.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and a lot of people would look at long drive and they think, oh, it's a pure ball speed, contest, and not knocking you, but your ball speed wasn't the fastest today, but your flight was real good, your spin rate, your launch, you were getting your height up there around 190 feet, which was really good for this grid because it's real nice, plush grass out there that's not getting any rollout. So that's pretty impressive, and for those people out there thinking it's just a ball speed contest, I want to just encourage them to really work on their aerodynamics, and you got a great swing, and it showed today.
Thank you.
Yeah, very impressive. Congratulations again. And I don't know what to say other than congratulations. It's a fantastic way to start the season. And you beat a great field of competitors. Josh Koch, Kyle Berkshire, Justin James. I mean, there's 3 world champions right there. Ryan Winther, Will Hogue. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of horsepower there. And it shows the growth and development you've had in the last year or so. Was it even a year?
I think we're just almost getting to the year mark now. So
very impressive. Very impressive. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Ryan Riesbeck here with Bobby Peterson and the winner of the ladies division, Kanani Lodge. Kanani, what was the feeling going into that last set?
Last set, oh man, I really just wanted to focus on hitting the grid. I knew I could trust my swing and I could trust my ball flight if I could get it between the lines, and that's all I wanted to do those last 3 balls.
So why did it take you to your last ball to get it?
Well, I think it adds a little bit of spice when you don't get it out in the first shot. So I was I'm nervous. This is my biggest competition so far. We had 5 women in the field, and I know that's not a lot compared to the men, but this is my rookie year still, I consider, since we were kind of washed for COVID. And I competed once in the PLDA's men's open, but this has been my first fighting against the women that, that it matters. And so.
What do you think of the venue here in Mesquite? I know as a new competitor, this is your first time here at this venue. Tell me what you think about it.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. I Google Earthed it before I got here, and it's, you just see the desert and then beautiful green field, and you've got 2 of them, so I was already blown away by that. And then just the atmosphere here, I love it. The weather's been awesome, much better than what we're having in Washington right now. I'm looking forward to coming back in May.
That's a good point. We're coming back May 21st through the 23rd. We'll have a ladies division again at that competition as well.
Yeah, and we're also going to have an event in Utah and also in Denver, and then the World Championship here. So that's another thing. And in the preparation, like with Kanani last year, we put in so much work hoping for the season and not having it. It was a big disappointment because I think the ladies division was growing really good last year, and with her coming in, and we have a new lady, Maya Teapot, coming in, I thought it was, good opportunity, but hopefully that we can get past this COVID and get things back going and get ladies interested in it. We had some new ladies here today, Margot and Katie, Lindsay, and actually had a 17-year-old, Gabby, was hitting in the field. I think she had a great time. She was grinning ear to ear all day long. But, Kanani come out and put up a monster ball right to start with, 345 yards, and that kind of set the tone. And the other girls were digging, though. Katie put up some big balls there, 310 and stuff, so they were definitely capable of getting there if they could caught one, a little better.
Talk to us about, everybody wants to win, but in a competition like this, there really is only one winner. What else do you get out of competing at a contest like this? And I say this for ladies that maybe don't feel like they're fast enough to come out and compete. Is it all about winning, or is there more to it?
There's absolutely more. I think winning is an awesome byproduct, but it's the camaraderie, the atmosphere. Everybody's cheering for everybody. I mean, you saw Gabby. She's an amateur, 17 years old, and she just had an absolute blast. She didn't care how far the ball went. She loved being out here with us, and me as a competitor loves seeing that enthusiasm, and I just want that to spread. I love the fun. I mean, the guys are just as interested in what we're doing, even though that we're the ladies competition. They stayed and watched, and I think that's what it's more about, is having that kind of family vibe.
Signing out from Mesquite, Nevada, Ryan Riesbeck,
Bobby Peterson,
Kanani Lodge.